In the last couple of days in the boxing world, it does seem that there was a little war between Riyadh seasoned Turki Al-Sheikh versus Jake El Gallo Paul. Now, El Gallo means the fighting chicken. I remember at first everybody said that it was a done deal between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Then they said the fight was off, and then they said Canelo signed the 2-fight deal against Jake Paul, and now that fight is canceled, and now Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are really gonna fight in September. And also, it does seem that Jake Paul is a little sour that Canelo Alvarez actually went to Riyadh season to get a 4-fight deal over his deal, because he was a little sour about the situation and made a video about Canelo Alvarez. In that video, Jake Paul calls Canelo Alvarez a PUTA and also says that he is ducking Jake Paul, and he says that Canelo Alvarez already signed a deal. He already signed the contract to a 2-fight deal, and Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh also sends Jake Paul a message, and he says do not mess with the lion, and it's basically lions only. I thought I heard the Charlos in the back. Well, now we know that Canelo Alvarez signed with Riyadh season for a 4-fight deal. Now, the first 2 fights are going to be in 2025, and the next 2 fights are going to be in 2026. Most likely, all 4 days is going to be 2 days on Mexican Independence Day weekend, and the other 2 days on Cinco de Mayo weekend for 2025 and 2026. Now, we know most of the opponents that could be the potential matchup for Canelo Alvarez, and the first one will be either Surace, the guy that knocked out Jaime Munguia, or actually Jermell Charlo, and that is for May 2025. As for September 2026 is gonna be none other than one of the pound-for-pound kings, Terence Bud Crawford. And the only fight that we do not know is the last fight, and that one is subject to change. But on May 2026 is gonna be either Chris Eubank Jr. or Billy. And like I said, we do not know the last 4th fight, but I really do hope is David Benavidez, because the whole boxing world really wants to see this fight. And this, every time David Benavidez fights, is getting more to a 50-50 fight. Even though I still think that Canelo Alvarez can beat David Benavidez, because David Benavidez throws a lot of punches, but the thing is, Canelo Alvarez is a great counterpunch, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna make David Benavidez respect that power, because everybody knows if you throw a lot of punches, then that's a lot of opportunities for your opponent to counterpunch you. Every time you throw a punch, that means that your opponent is able to counterpunch you, or not able, but he has the potential to counterpunch you. Now, I am really glad that the Canelo versus Jake Paul fight did not happen. Even though it is going to be a great event and it was going to be a spectacle, I would have paid for it. I just really, as a boxing fan, I'm just glad it did not happen, because he does not have any chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford has a way better chance to beat Canelo than Jake Paul has the chance to beat Canelo, and I still don't give Crawford that much of a chance. Also, I did forget to mention that Dimitri Bivol could be on the 3rd fight for the rematch, and that will be against Chris Eubank Jr. or Billy. It could also be Dimitri Bivol. And Canelo did say that he had a hand injury when he fought Dimitri Bivol, and he does want that rematch. So I have him beating Dimitri Bivol in the rematch. Now, I have Canelo Alvarez beating everybody at 168 and most fighters at 175. I think he beats Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, but I also think David Benavidez beat Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, and that's gonna be the #1 fight, David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez after that. And guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you want to hop on your boy, throw $1 at the super thing. I gotta roll. Peace.